We're back with yet again another update on Bonk. Shout out to you guys, of course. Let's waste no more time and take a look together as to what's really happening with Bonk coin, and of course what we could be expecting, going further, obviously to this upcoming weekend, and as we are obviously going into the future as well. But if you're looking across the board, a lot of green as we can see. Bonk up 14% over the course of the last 24 hours, which of course is amazing to see. I think it's by far the leader in terms of meme coins, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of the top 100 coins. That's always amazing to see. If you're looking at it on a weekly time frame, Bonk is up 32.9%, guys. Yes, you've heard that correct. But now let's take a closer look and see what's happening with Bonk, and what we could be expecting going further into this a week. Obviously, we're approaching Friday. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend ahead of us, and we're really going to be taking a look at what's really happening and whether or not this indeed is a major reversal for Bonk and other meme coins. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer for you guys: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So market cap is at 1.25 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume is at about $200 million, give or take. The rank right now for Bonk is at the top 78 spot, which of course is always nice to see. The fact that it still has been able to claim itself within the top 100, which again is always nice to see. If you're looking at the entire market valuation, as far as the meme coin goes, you're looking at about $59 billion. A lot of gains happening within the meme coin space, as you can see across the board. As I've stated to you guys before in my other market analysis updates on meme coins, memes tend to perform really good when market heats up. When market heats up, memes are, where the gains are being made. You can see this for yourself. Just take a look at the last 7 days. Just take a look at the last 7 days. You'll see crazy amount of gains being made. But with that being said, when market doesn't go south, towards the downside, uncertainty, increases, you do tend to see meme coins, it being impacted quite heavily in a negative way. And all these gains that you do see, they get wiped out really fast. So I've told you guys this 1,000 times on my channel. If you are making gains on meme coins, you want to lock those profits in. Don't listen to random trolls online saying it's bad to lock in profits. It's always good to lock in profits when you see it, because meme coins really don't bring any utility. There's no real use case. It's pretty much supply and demand factor that goes into play, which of course drives the price up and down. So that's something that I really want you guys to understand very carefully. But yeah, let's take a look at what's really happening with Bonk. As far as Bonk is concerned, obviously it was, the biggest Solana, SPL meme coin. But of course, Donald Trump coin has taken over the last, few days, because of course, it has seen a lot of traction coming in play, after the unlock, a lot of excitement. And you can see, right now that is currently ranked as the top meme coin. But Bonk, some people can argue that it is the first coin, and it has that first mover advantage without a doubt. I've shared that on the channel quite some time. But Trump coin, again, some think it's an outlier. Some are not big fans of it, but we need to understand that it is the biggest SPL token right now, without a doubt. But Bonk still has pretty much held its ground, which again is really nice to see. Looking at, and one other thing that I want you guys to understand is it's not just Bonk that's gaining a lot of traction. It's the entire market that is pumping right now. As far as the dominance is concerned, you guys are looking at the dominance pulling down over the last 24 hours, which is always nice to see, especially when Bitcoin sees the complete opposite. What I mean by that is especially when Bitcoin starts seeing some positive strength within itself, while dominance pulls down. That's always a good sign, and you can see this for yourself. Bitcoin is actually pushing up going into Friday morning, while dominance continues to fall, which again is giving altcoins more of a push right now, which is of course always nice to see. If you're looking at Bonk right now, let's actually kind of take a look at what's really happening. So the price was able to reclaim back above this key resistance at the 12.99. We pushed up to the 16.11 zone. Again, some of the levels we haven't seen since February, and you're starting to see this across board. A lot of different projects, retesting some of the levels that it hasn't seen, since February or early March, and that should really show you, how much excitement there's really coming in the market. But what's really interesting here, which a lot of people are overlooking, is the fact that the dominance is much, much higher, compared to where we were. And again, let me show you guys what I really mean. Let's kind of go back, memory lane not too long ago. Let's just take a look at, what was happening at the beginning of the year. So at the beginning of the year, we were sitting at about 38.56, which again, if you want to put it into perspective from where we currently are, that's still a move of about 151% from where we currently are. But back on Jan, if you kind of go back to the dominance, I want to show you guys something here. So look at, where we were in terms of the dominance, 56 to 57%. Big difference, major difference. I've shared this take, with you guys on my channel, pretty much across the board with multiple assets. I personally think if we were sitting at the dominance, where we were at the beginning of the year, I personally think, a lot of coins would have already been retesting close to, the February and January highs. So I would have personally, be projecting, Bonk to be sitting at the 25.83, potentially even the 29.39 zone if it were for the dominance. So again, that's something that, we need to keep in mind. You could really understand how important the dominance really is, but one step at a time. Obviously, it's far off from us, really getting excited about an altcoin rally, even though you are starting to see, Bonk show some traction. Again, from, the April 7th, wick down to the 889 zone, since then it is up 83%, which of course is nice to see, but we have long ways to go. We are facing some key resistance right now. Again, if this resistance is able to turn into support, I personally project that, 1956 could be the next target to be looking out for, but long ways to go. A lot of resistance coming in its way. The 24-hour trading volume still not as high as, what we have seen in the past. So, one step at a time, of course, but let me know down below what you guys think. Solana is also gaining traction. So, of course, it's a SPL coin. It kind of goes hand in hand. Are we going to see a big meme coin cycle once again? I don't see why not. Let me know down below what you guys think. But, like I said, only time will tell. Love you all. It's been Crypto ZX and peace out.